Why should I care? Well, firstly, because you have no choice. And second, you might realize you and I are actually quite similar in some ways. No, no, they're not. Absolutely not. Once upon a time, there lived a little prince. This little prince was messed up and twisted. He was born with a golden spoon in his mouth. The ceilings in his house were so high that he used to think they touched the sky. He was sweet and naive, yet within him stirred dreams far too big for his small world. You mean demons inside of him. First, he wanted to be an artist. He would spend hours drawing, pouring his heart into every crayon stroke. His box of crayons held every color imaginable. Later, his dreams took flight and he wanted to be a pilot. He wanted to fly in that big, big sky full of stars. But the little prince was only, I don't care, immeasurably so. He had no siblings to share his days with. He had no friends, for he was on the quieter side. All the maids were instructed to keep to themselves or lose their jobs. His parents both ice cold, not a drop of warmth or love circulating in their veins. No one talked to him. His big house began to echo with this feeling of loneliness. And so what would he do? I don't know. He continued to create drawings that no one would ever see. He spent hours building sandcastles by himself that the wind would claim in seconds. He played alone on swings where his feet couldn't quite reach the ground no matter how he tried. Okay, boo-hoo. Okay, Elias, but that doesn't excuse what you turned into. That's sad. That's a sad childhood, sure, but he slid down the tall slides, but there was never anyone to push him. So you turned into a psycho instead? And he cried in spaces where there would be no one to hear his sorrow. But one day, this little prince saw something. And what did he see? His sanity vanishing? Wait, please, stop. I said I'm sorry. Or rather, he saw someone. Another boy a few years older than the prince, his fist bloodied, mercilessly pummeling a frightened little girl. That's right, run. Oh! When the girl fled in tears, the boy let out a loud, joyous laugh. Oh, it sounds so bright. It seemed to drown out the darkness of his earlier eyes. Speaking of psychos, this whole town is full of them. Then he turned his blood-stained hands and fierce gaze toward the prince. What are you looking at? Why were you hitting her? Because she and her friends call me a freak for my white hair. They all ran away though, some scared little bees. Okay, why does he talk like that? Using bad grown-up words. What do you think? You think I'm a freak too? No. I think it's cool. Did you diet? No, I have a genetic condition. My name's Russ. I'm Elias. Russ was the boy's name. The little prince was happy to learn this. He was happy to be able to introduce himself. Russ became the little prince's first and only friend. Russ was unlike anyone that little prince had ever met. Okay. He was brash, wild, and seemed to care little for rules or consequences. He would speak out loudly, laugh in the face of authority, and fight anyone who crossed them. So he's being a bad influence. His knuckles were almost always bruised and his clothes carried evidence of countless scraps and scruffles. The little prince was completely captivated by Russ. The prince didn't care that Russ sometimes did things that felt wrong. What mattered the most was Russ made him feel alive, feel seen. At first, the prince simply followed Russ as a silent observer to his antics. He watched as Russ stole from stores, knocked over bikes, and hurled rocks at windows. The prince felt a pang of guilt at each misdeed, but Russ's laughter was infectious. Slowly, the prince began to join in, not because he wanted to, but because he was desperate to hold on to his only friend. Then he began to mimic Russ's swagger. Russ does not have swagger, his speech becoming louder and rougher as he tried to match his friends. The quiet, lonely prince was beginning to fade, replaced by someone he thought might earn Russ's approval. He started to enjoy the adrenaline of running from trouble, the secrets in the way. Russ seemed proud of him when he stood up to another talk back. So yes, he was influenced by this boy. But he even says he knew the things he were doing was wrong. So there's no excuse for him. In a way, they both an unconventional gap in each other. Two loners who had found a place in each other. Do you have siblings? No. How about your parents? Is their hair white like yours too? I wouldn't know. I don't know my parents. I'm a foster kid. Oh, how's that? Well, my foster dad's a workaholic, and my foster mom uses me as her ashtray when she's drunk, so not that great. I'm sorry. I know how that feels. Do you? Well, no, but I have a family, but they don't feel like it. My parents don't really talk to me, or to each other. No one really talks to me, actually. Really? Not even at school? No. I'm shy, so oh bro, F that. Don't be a p. Okay, if you stay shy and timid and weak and shit, the world's gonna eat you up in an instant. You need to toughen yourself up. Don't let people walk over you. I mean, that's true. Toughen yourself up. Don't let people walk over you. But doing all these other things, no. Be the one walking over. Oh no. Yeah, yeah. If I hadn't done that, you think I'd still be around? I would have thrown myself off a bridge or something. Thanks for being around. You're my only friend, Russ. One did Little Prince went to the playground, their playground. This is where he and Russ had spent so many days together dreaming up adventures. Today, though the air was heavy, the prince froze as he saw a commotion. What the? I mean, what the hell do you guys want? You're coming with us, you little punk. Stop. Let go of me. Please. Russ was there, but he wasn't laughing and running like he usually did. Instead, two officers were gripping his arms, holding him back as he struggled and shouted. His face was flushed with anger, devoid of the smirk that the little prince had gotten so used to. The little prince's heart shattered. He had no choice but to watch helplessly as his only friend was taken away. Tears began to stream down his face, silent at first, but soon as sobs shook his chest. He wanted to call out to Russ to run to him, but fear kept him rooted in place. But he was gone. Okay, days turned into weeks. The little prince returned to their playground every single day, hoping to see Russ again. But the swings hung motionless, the sand wasn't touched, and the echoes of Russ's voice had long since faded. Russ, where did you go? To the police station? To jail? I don't know. Can't you come back already? I've been waiting for you. I have no one without you. I'm so lonely. Russ, please. Finally, he couldn't take it anymore. Mom, Dad, please, you have to help him. Oh, why are you shouting, boy? What are you talking about? Help who? Russ. Please, please. Who is Russ? He's my friend. He's in trouble. I saw him taken away by police. Please. You have to help him. You have money, right? Money gets people out of jail. I saw it on TV. I have some pocket money, but I don't think it'll be enough to. You have a friend that went to jail? What is wrong with you? Just what do you spend your time doing? Please, Elias, don't involve us in your riffraff. He's not riffraff. He's my friend. Go find other friends for crying out loud. I don't have any other friends. Don't you get it? He's my only friend. He's all I have. Without him, They didn't understand. They didn't see Russ the way he did. They didn't know how Russ had made him feel alive, how he had shown him what it was to be like, to be noticed, to be valued, to be cared for. I love. Oh! Oh, that I was thinking this a minute ago, but I was like, no, they just, maybe they just have a close friendship. But I'm shocked. I love him. When I'm with Russ, I feel like I'm not invisible. He actually talks to me. He laughs at me. He makes me feel like I'm not alone. That's what love feels like, isn't it? Isn't it? A suffocating silence befell the room. It was a different silence from the one that rang across the high ceilings every day. The silence was somber. This one was dangerous. You're in love with a boy. Uh-oh. Are you sick in the head, huh? Have you completely lost your mind? That hurts. You're a disgrace. Why would people think if they heard this filth coming from my son's mouth? What the hell is wrong with you? No son of mine will be in love with the boy. Tears streamed down the prince's face as he screamed and clutched his cheek. Okay, so now we know where his disdain for Maisie comes from. But what's so wrong with that? But his father's hand was heavy and violent. His father didn't stop just once. Dad, please. Ouch. That's enough, William. I'll handle him. Make sure you do. The little prince looked up to his mother with tear-filled eyes, his heart clinging to a fragile thread of hope. Surely his mother would understand. Surely she would be the one to comfort him to make things right. Mom, will you help Russ? His voice, oh no. Go to bed, Elias. Let's talk tomorrow. Okay. Who was she calling? Oh dear. Maybe his mother was waiting for the right moment to speak to him. Maybe she was planning a way to help Russ to make his father understand. Maybe she just needed time. The prince wiped away his tears and curled up beneath the heavy covers, his heart aching but holding on to a flicker of belief. Tomorrow would be better, he told himself. His mother would help him. She had to. I think she did something to Russ. Tells us that maybe today would be the day his mother came through. She had taken him from his father's wrath, hadn't she? Surely she cared in her own way. Surely she was doing something to help Russ. Uh-oh. When he went downstairs, though, he saw them. Oh, dear. His mother's friends. They were seated in the grand living room, their faces pulled into a sinister smile. They laughed loudly, their voices sharp and grating. Little Prince froze, his stomach twisting into knots. He knew these women. He hated them. Their smiles always felt wrong. He turned back and crept back into his room. Maybe they were here to help his mother with Russ. Maybe they had answers he couldn't understand. But something inside him told him to stay away. So he did. He locked himself in his room, glancing at the door every time a shadow passed beneath it. He told himself it would all make sense soon and his mother would come and tell him it was all okay. That Russ was coming back. That he'd be able to see his only friend again. The afternoon sun was at its highest, burning the back of his neck. That was when the knock came. Mom? Elias, come with me. Oh dear, I'm scared for this poor boy. Are they gonna do something to him? Uh, and there they were. Their face lit up when they saw him, their beady eyes gleaming. Oh my gosh. Is she gonna make him? Go on. I don't understand. You will. Oh no, 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 no. Don't leave me here. You just need to do as you're told. This is for your own good. You're broken, I'm gonna try to fix you. No, Mrs. Jinsara, you are broken. Oh my gosh. Those old hags did that to me. Maybe my mom thought pimping me out to her friends when I was barely in middle school would set me straight. So, you still want to call me crazy? You want to call me evil when them like them exist? You know I cry myself to sleep every damn night. On some of the worst days, I'd throw up for hours after. My eyes are so swollen shut every morning, and I tremble every time I stepped out of my room because I was so scared they were gonna be like, okay, so we know at least the twistedness from him comes from the trauma he went through. He did go through a lot of trauma. He did go through a lot. It does not excuse his actions of today, but at least we found out more. If it was the first part, which is Russ, and he was, following Russ and doing the bad things, it was kind of like you knew you were doing wrong. But what happened after with his family, he had no control over that, and they traumatized that child. They need to be thrown in jail for what they did. All one, two, three, four, five of them, those five adults, because what they did again and again. I guess they liked. Oh dear. Oh, so you should actually consider yourself lucky. I would have preferred to be trapped in a basement and whipped like an animal than what they did to me. This is for your own good. This will fix you. I was sick of her saying the same damn shit. So you know what I did? No one was gonna come save me. So I went and fixed the problem myself. That's right. I killed my mother. And I killed the last part of me that was weak too. But I would have never been strong enough to do it had she not done what she did. So you know what? She did fix me. It worked. I stopped crying. I stopped feeling. It felt amazing. He needs help. He really does. But back to Little Prince. There's still a little more of his story left to go. Mom. What? It's been so long already. Aren't you gonna help? You said you'd help Ra. She had laughed in his face, a cruel, sharp sound that cut through him like a blade. You've gotta be kidding. Russ, you still care about him. After all I've done for you, you still love him, don't you? It seems I failed at fixing you. Get it in your head. I'm not helping that friend of yours. And mark my words, I will definitely be increasing my efforts on fixing you since what I've been doing so far hasn't seemed to be working. Is he gonna push her? I bet he's gonna push her. Do I feel bad? No. She deserves it. Yeah. The little prince wrapped his hands around his mother's throat. Elias, stop. Then she fell. Time seemed to slow as she tumbled down the steps, her body twisting naturally. Mm. 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 She brought that on herself. Little Prince at the top of the stairs staring down. I do not feel bad for her. I do not feel sorry for her for what she did to this boy. He should have felt something, fear, regret, sorrow. But all he felt was calm. They turns him into the cycle. First I thought it was Russ. Russ was a bad influence, but Elias was still there. No, it was these parents who did this. When he reached her, he saw her chest raising and falling in shallow, uneven breaths. Her eyes were still stuck up and filled with panic. But it wasn't the life escaping from her that caught his attention. It was her tears that captivated him. She tried to speak, her lips moving wordlessly, but no sound escaped. And so he stayed beside her, his face expressionless, and watched as her life ebbed away. He didn't touch her, didn't try to stop the bleeding. He simply watched, the faintest smile tugging at his lips. Her tears brought the little prince back to life. Oh, now we know where that comes from. For so long, he had been the one who cried, the one who begged, the one who felt powerless. But now, as he stared into her eyes, watching the light fade from them, he felt something he hadn't felt what seemed like eternity. He felt alive. Well, the little prince stood over his mother's lifeless body, the silence suffocating yet strangely liberating. His chest heaved, his blood rushing in his ears, but his mind was clear, as if every cell in his body had woken up from a long, dark sleep. Then he looked up. Oh, and there's the father. But there was no anger, no disgust, no disappointment. They are all twisted as hell. Pride. You did what had to be done. Uh, uh. From that moment, the prince was changed. The spark of fear that ignited within him grew into a roaring fire, the nature that had freed him from his mother's torment. He grew up learning to wield power like a weapon. But it was more than power that drove him. It was the tears. Okay. The memory of his mother's final moments haunted and exhilarated him. It had made him feel something exciting, raw, intoxicating. I can't find my necklace. Oh my gosh. Wasn't that like $3,000? Okay, so this is the flashback portion where he like gets off on seeing people cry. Okay, now he found Asher. Let go of me. Oh, he was thinking Asher was someone like him. No, it's not. He wasn't like Russ. He wasn't brash, reckless, or eager to set the world on fire. Instead, he was like a vicious shadow that refused to be contained. But the little prince could see it in him. The darkness. The little prince was enthralled. But see, the difference is Asher didn't let it consume him. But unlike Elias. Although Elias went through child Elias. I don't feel bad for adult Elias because adult Elias has done some nasty things, wrong things. I do not feel sorry for him at all. But child Elias and the trauma he went through, I feel terrible for. You good? Does it look like I am? My name's Elias. I think we go to school together. I've seen you before. You're Asher, right? I was just at the counseling place too. So you both got problems, huh? The little prince saw the violence brewing in Asher. It appealed to him. Little Prince was searching for the violence that saved him, but now lived within him. He wanted to find others whose heart was brewing with the same violence. He thought he found someone like him. But unfortunately, it was a short-lived friendship. The little prince made a mistake. He pushed too far. F you, get the F off me. What the F did you say about my mom? It was a joke, you sensitive ass. Sensitive? Guys, what the F? Stop. F this. I'm done with you. If I know what a shitty ass person you were, I would have decked you the first time you came up to me. Oh, don't talk to me again. Oh my. Do you think cutting me off is going to make you a better person, Graves? Because let me tell you, it won't. You're rotten to the core and that's not going to change. No, that's you, Elias. That's you. Not Asher. Dude, you shouldn't have said that. Yeah, that was too far. Oh, screw you guys. Sensitive as hell. The little prince had friends, but they didn't get him, and he didn't see himself in them. But the little prince wouldn't be alone again. He would simply find another like him. If you think it's going to be Maisie, it's not. And soon enough, he did. Oh, I forgot about Tegan. I forgot Tegan existed. The name's Tegan, and so did everyone. Well, he doesn't exist anymore. He ceased to exist. The ring took care of that situation. The end. What did you think of my story? I feel bad for you as a child. You didn't deserve to go through all that trauma. Your parents are pieces of shit. The mom, I mean, she deserved that. But the you of today doesn't excuse yourself. So I feel bad for the child you, but the adult you is a psychopath. So yeah, I'm actually not. No, you are. I might be a sadist just like my father, though. You know, sometimes he has women over and invite. Oh, 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 you take pleasure in women's misery and they're the ones that are messed up? You're messed up, Elias. Maybe. You know what's funny? I went for you because I saw part of myself in you, but here you are judging me. Maisie, don't you realize we're more alike than you thought? No, they're not. What I know now is that you started dating me because you thought it'd fix you, right? Because you know deep down, you were attracted to all those guys, weren't you? Russ, Asher, Tegan. No, I wasn't. I was wrong. See, that's where we're different. You say we're alike, but unlike you, I can admit the truth. You want to hear it? I like Lexus. I think I always have. She's more than you'll ever be. And I don't care if you or a million other people in this world think it's wrong. It's right because it's what I feel. Go, Maisie. I'm sorry that things went so shitty for you in your story, but that doesn't give you the right to ruin me. Exactly. He says he sees part of himself in me, but doesn't he realize that part of his mom is in him? Wait, didn't Elias say my parents aren't home? This is my best possible chance of escaping, and I wasted so much time listening to that story of his. But if my parents aren't here, then who? Who the F is that standing there? Who is that? Usher, where's your bathroom? Oh, it's right by the kitchen, just by the first door on the right. Got it, thanks. Who is in the basement? So, you heard from the ring recently? I don't care about the damn ring. Go back to Maisie. No, but Daria's gonna talk to her friend's dad. You know, the one who's the police chief. Oh yeah, cool guy. But wait, are you sure that's a good idea? You don't think they'll come for you if they find out what you're gonna do? I don't know, but it's a risk I'm willing to take. I just hope the ring doesn't decide to cash in my favor yet. I don't know what they're gonna make me. What's the ring? Oh, you didn't hear anything, girl. You didn't hear anything.